Welcome to a special edition of the People of Purpose Talk Show. Today is International Nelson Mandela Day, the 18th of July, a day when many of us reflect on a man who showed that reconciliation, humanity, and friendship can hold steady through hardship. Our theme today is Reverential Friendship. Madiba once wrote from his prison cell in 1975. I like friends who have independent minds because they tend to make you see problems from all angles. That's the spirit we bring into this conversation today. Friendship that challenges us, holds us, and helps us see further than we could alone. Why reverential friendship? A friendship held with a kind of respect, usually reserved for the sacred. You honor the other person's mind, story, and independence rather than trying to shape them into your own reflection. A few things that separate it from ordinary friendship. It welcomes disagreement. This is basically Mandela's own line. He valued friends with independent minds because they showed him a problem from every angle. Reverential friendship isn't threatened by a friend who sees differently. It's grateful for it. It survives distance and time. It's not built on convenience or proximity. It's the friendships that's still standing after years, oceans apart, or hardship. It sees the other person as someone to learn from and is more than enjoyment. There is an element of looking up and treating your friend as a kind of teacher or mirror. It's chosen deliberately again and again. This type of friendship is not inherited or convenient, but actively honored. So today we are actually doing 67 minutes. Every year on International Nelson Mandela Day, people around the world are asked to give 67 minutes of their time in service to others. 1 minute for every year Madiba gave to public service in his lifetime. In this show, we are running for 67 minutes for the very same reason. My friends who are here today and myself, we are keeping the tradition and giving our own 67 minutes of service on the show today. Each of us are doing our bit together. So today's guest, we will start with Craig Greenberg. Craig is a Brooklyn-based award-winning singer, songwriter, and musician. He's an honored board member of the Grammys. He's independently released 5 albums, performed over 1,000 shows, and had his songs featured in American Songwriter and Relics magazine, as well as the People of Purpose talk shows Spark magazine. Craig joins us today to play some music and give us a preview of his upcoming birthday show at Drome NYC. Craig is no stranger to the People of Purpose talk show and has been with us from day one. Craig's music has resonated with our People of Purpose talk show family globally. He is on iTunes and Spotify and all the other streaming platforms. Rorisang Motuba. Rorisang Motuba is a South African actress, writer, and director, known for her role in the Disney film Queen of Katwe, and for her SAFTA-nominated writing on South African television. She was named one of Mail and Guardian's 200 Young South Africans in Arts and Entertainment. Beyond the screen, Rorisang is a friend of mine, and I'm glad she is here today. She is no stranger to the People of Purpose talk show as well, and she is also featured on our show from the early days. Georja Umano. Georja is my dear friend all the way from Santa Monica, Los Angeles, California. She is the founder of the Elephant Matriarch Project in Kenya, which empowers rural mothers as protectors of elephants, and the author of the award-winning novel Terriers in the Jungle. She is also an award-winning screenwriter. Terriers in the Jungle has been adapted into a feature screenplay. Georja has been featured in Spark magazine and has also been a guest on the People of Purpose talk show for many years. Our audience loves Georja. She joins us from California today to share about her work. And that, dear friends, is who all of you are. So it was a mouthful, but I got through that. So
And
we will start.
you. And you also.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So we will start with Georgia. So Georgia, you've spent years around elephant matriarchs, famous for their loyalty to the herd. What
Mm.
have they taught you about friendship among humans?
Well, I think they're more loyal than humans are in general. Well, I think they're more loyal than humans are in general. They stick with their own. They protect each other, and they travel in herds. The females are the leaders. The males go off kind of on their own, and then they form little groups among themselves. But the major herds are the mothers and the babies. And so the matriarch of the herd makes a lot of decisions for the herd about where to go, where to find water, who to run away from. So they all depend on her, and she's very devoted to them, and it's very inspirational. I had just a cute little anecdote here. I wish I had the picture, but um, one of at Sheldrick Wildlife Trust is a well-known animal elephant rescue organization in Kenya, and they started about maybe 30 years ago. But I found out about them in 2010, and that was the first time I went to Kenya. And you can adopt a baby. They rescue babies that have been abandoned for some reason, and maybe it's because of fear that somehow they just got lost, or they got stuck in a well, or whatever it was. Their mother died, so they rescue a lot of baby elephants, and you can adopt one, and if you're there, you can go visit it. And I'll never forget the first time I went in 2010, and it's so amazing to be around the babies. I mean, they're just adorable, and you could feel that they're smart and they are sensitive. And this one that I adopted, she was very playful, and she reached over the cage, and she tried to steal my sunglasses. And that was I always loved that. And I hadn't really heard from her about her because they keep sending out little newsletters and updates. But just yesterday, I think it was, they have a picture of her, and here it is, it was 2010, so that's what, 16 years later. She's a new mother, and she has a little baby, and the little baby is, all the elephants are trying to get to the baby, and she's like the protectress, because they all want to protect the babies, all the mothers. They love protecting the babies. But the little baby, they have the puddle there, and the little baby puts his trunk in there and starts blowing bubbles. It's the cutest thing. Anyway, and I just thought, wow, she was so playful, and now her son is playful also. And it's just they're so relatable, to humans.
Thank you, Georgia. That was beautiful. So, in your book and your screenplay, friendship carries real weight. What do you want people to take away about how we show up for each other?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I mostly focus on the animals. Sometimes it feels like they're more loyal to each other than people are sometimes. Um, I just I want, first of all, we need to have our hearts open to each other and to the animals. Animals are sentient beings, and they belong on the earth just as much as we do. And they don't have the respect and the protections that that they should have in many cases. So that's why I'm an animal advocate, because I just feel a lot of feelings around elephants and other animals, dogs. I'm very close with my dogs, and other animals too. But um, people, our connections are a little bit less tight. I think. We kind of come and go out of each other's lives, but I think that old friendships are the best when you can, I was thinking about a friend I met in the first grade of when I was, 7 years old,
Oh, wow.
and I was very shy, and she offered me a pencil, and that was
Oh,
the beginning of a friendship, and she's still my friend today, and I was thinking of that, and I just had to call her because she's on the East Coast. She lives in Maryland.
mhm.
And so friendship is very sweet, when you find a real friend that sticks with you and that you still feel over the years, you have this great feeling for them. I mean, there's nothing better, really.
That's very special. So, from what you've heard about Nelson Mandela as a friend, and also the way he practiced diplomacy, global diplomacy, um, what do you think, from that perspective, it means to be a reverential friend?
I'm not sure, but there's a large group of friends that I have right now who are vegan. It's a very strong community here, and they're
Mhm,
spreading it, and they're coming up with more great things to do to spread the word, and
mhm,
that they
mhm,
always party together, and they do this together, and they do that together, and it's sweet. And they supported me when I had fundraisers for the Elephant Matriarch Project.
mhm,
And but I think that it can also become a little cliquish where, if you're not vegan, they don't really want you in the group so much, and I have friends, of course, that I've had before I met them even who are not vegan.
mhm,
And I am a vegan, and I do think that veganism is wonderful because we need to stop killing animals just to eat them. We don't need to eat them. Um, and I believe that, but I don't think it's good when it separates you, when a belief separate you so much, especially from old friends, who still, you did share a lot of things with them. So you want to be open to them, even though you have your beliefs
mhm.
and you can express them. But um, that's the only thing I can think of. It's just,
That's
y-
beautiful. That's perfect because uh, it's about acceptance. It's what
yeah.
Mandela said. It's about accepting people even with differences. So thank you for that, Georgia. And do you want to say anything else about your book and your screenplay?
No, I just, I'm trying to promote my screenplay, and it's very difficult. The film industry in California right now, they're mostly just looking for horror movies. That's the number one movie. And I don't, that I don't care about horror movies. And, I know there's a lot of us out there that don't, but these people who are sort of running Hollywood, that they think that's the hot thing, that you have to, everybody should have a horror movie, and nobody's looking for a movie about conservation, which is what mine is, but it's really about a woman and what she goes through, and they
Mhm.
can look at it that way. But even that is not the flavor of the day. So, it's not easy to get a movie made here, not at all. And
Mhm.
still exploring different possibilities.
Keep going, Georgia. You never know. And keep going with your movie and your script writing. You're doing well. And thank you for coming today. So
Well,
we'll
thanks for
move.
inviting me. I'm very honored. And I
You're welcome.
really great to see all of you. Yeah, thank you so much.
So you're actually part of the 67 minutes of service for Nelson Mandela Day.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
so that's what this is all about. Craig, are you ready for us today?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I have a few questions for you.
Yeah.
And would you like to start with some music first, just to soften
Sure.
things up a bit? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Check, check, check. Okay, so Yeah, I have the new album coming out. This is one of the songs on it. This is a song called Till the Mood. Wait till the moon arrives. Wait till the wind is at your back and you're feeling so inspired. There's no way you're falling from the track that you've played for years, sacrificing all nose to the ground. Somehow you found your way, held through the cold, the loneliness and tears. You stuck it out so you can fly away. Yeah, yeah. Now your feet are off the ground. There's a sense of wonder to your days. People come from all around to hear the music that you make when the mood is right. You're drawn into the sound. Open your heart and it comes pouring out. You feed the soul with love abundant ways. You set them free with a state of grace. Yeah, yeah. And you feel the days, they move so quickly now. It's like the scene you always dreamed about. You're staring straight up to the stars, so unafraid in who you are. When the mood is right, you're drawn into the sound. Open your heart and it comes pouring out. You make the call and gather all around. You set them free so you can fly away. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Bravo, Craig. That was wonderful. I love that song.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was beautiful. So your birthday show at Drome NYC is coming up on 20th August. What
Yeah.
made you want to combine a birthday celebration with a live performance this year, Craig?
Well, it's a pretty significant birthday, for one.
Wow.
And I've done a lot of years on my birthday. I've done shows, and it's just it's one way to assure that you're in addition to fans, that friends that come, people that know you. So, and because we're getting ready to put out the record, I just figured it was a good year to do a little bigger splash. So, yeah. So yeah, a little over a month away
That's
from now.
wonderful. That is
Hmm.
wonderful. And so, can you give us a preview of what the audience can expect musically that night? New songs, old favorites, maybe a few surprises?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still sorting out the set list. We're gonna do that song. Play about probably 3/4 of the new record, most of it. Um, and yeah, I was saying, it's hard because I have a lot of material, so making a set list is like I
kind of agonized over it. But I mean, it's a good problem to have. But so yeah, so we'll do a lot of new stuff. Some some of my older material, which yeah, songs spanning from over 20 years ago now, and then still deciding we're gonna do at least one cover, something new that we haven't done before. So I'm narrowing that down right now as well. And we're gonna have a big band, so I'm gonna actually have, in addition to the normal lineup of bass, drums, and piano, I'm gonna have my producer playing guitar. I'm gonna have a couple of horn players and a couple of backup singers. So it's gonna be a big band treatment, which is good because a lot of times I play just as a trio, and so obviously it's more to organize and manage, but it'll be worth it. And yeah, it's gonna be a good night. We're gonna record it. I'm looking forward to it.
Wonderful. So why Rome, NYC?
It's a venue I played before, and it's in the East Village. It's got a grand piano,
Oh,
so I
wow.
always look for rooms with real pianos.
Mhm.
Um, Obviously, it's a big plus, and yeah, I wanted something. It's a little more of an upscale space,
Mhm.
and they, when I reached out to them about doing it, they were the first ones to write back. I mean, I had a couple
Oh,
of places in mind, and they got back to me pretty quickly, and so um, they were very, on it. So I said, all right, let's do it. So,
oh, wow. That's wonderful, Craig. It's such good news. And what do you want people walking away feeling after this show, especially since, well, you said it's a significant birthday show. So,
yeah.
how do you want them to feel?
Um, well, I want them to hopefully, like a lot of the newer music,
Hmm.
and which will hopefully make them excited to get the record when it comes out. um, and yeah, I mean, hopefully, if it's a good show, and it'll be an uplifting experience, and yeah, maybe I'll um, get a couple new fans from it, and yeah, you know,
Wonderful. And is it a big venue? And are there lots of
yeah, it's a
people?
good sized venue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's capacities. I mean, well, it's kind of interesting space. They have this long entrance way, which is kind of like a lounge area, and then they have the
Mhm.
main room where they have, it's there's areas that's seated, and then there's a bar area, but so it's like a dinner venue as well. So yeah,
Sounds
so it'll
very
be
smart. Hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Lovely, Craig.
Although
So,
I never love to hear, it's not when you're on stage hearing like, silverware together. It's not, it's not the most pleasant, but you know, it's a little more refined. So I guess that's the trade-off of it.
okay, okay, that's lovely to hear. I'm happy for you, Craig, and that you're celebrating this significant birthday as well. We won't ask you how old you are. We're all women in this room, and you. So with us, it's safe. Your age is safe. You can tell us secretly. We won't tell anybody. So,
Okay.
so we won't ask you. But if it's significant, well, we celebrate you too. It's so beautiful that we can celebrate significant days of our lives. Uh,
Hmm.
you're always hearing life is so short and life is so short. And when we get older, it's just so wonderful to hear that other people are getting older too. So, so
Yeah, there's
it's
no way around
wonderful,
it.
Craig. I'm really happy for you. So, Craig, your music has taken you all over the world and back to New York City, that is. What has taught you about the friendships that actually last?
Hmm.
Well, what have these journeys taught you about friendships that
Well,
actually last?
I mean, for one, music is a very strong connector, a very good adhesive,
Mhm.
and when you do connect, I mean, the people that I've connected with over the years through music, as opposed to other, ways of connection. I mean, they tend to be pretty solid. So I'm lucky that I have, I mean, I'm not going to say that all the friendships are, you know, the closest of friendships, but I'm happy to have a lot of friends, people I consider friends in different parts of the world that I've connected with through music, and I've done done my part to kind of maintain those relationships, which can be a challenge when you're not, in front of them all the time. But I'm pretty good about that, about keeping up with people. And yeah, and just that there are good people everywhere, and music is really the international language.
Yes.
And yeah, it just kind of transcends, all of it. So it's definitely a blessing to be able to have that, to, it's not every art form is something that necessarily, connects that way. So yeah, it's definitely one of those things, and it's a shame because sometimes, I mean, I'm lucky because I did travel and live abroad for a couple of years. Not every musician has done that, and I think sometimes they don't realize the effect they could have on, if they just stay in their hometown, or, so yeah, um, but people show up, and I'm very lucky that I have, the ability to connect through music.
Wonderful. That's lovely to hear, especially when artists connect on that level. I think your work gets better, and well, it grows. Success for an artist is how the work grows, and I've seen that in your work. From the time I met you, your work has been growing, and well, thankfully we all have social media, so we can check up on each other, and you have quite an interesting following. That's wonderful. And so how was it doing that boat thing? I saw the video of you. Is
I
that,
mean, that was just, yeah.
is
I
that
mean,
a
it was
regular
it was
gig
pretty
or?
easy, actually. It's much easier than driving on the FDR.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, a friend of mine invited me. It was a friend of a friend who had this boat, and I've
Mm-hmm.
actually, I take the ferry a lot, but I hadn't actually been on a small boat around the city, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've ever gone out on a boat from the city, like maybe from Long Island, but so it was really cool, and but that song is kind of a very, given the location we were at.
Mm-hmm.
So I had my friend put the song on, and
Yeah, and you look very into it. That's
when
lovely. And see, it was your friend. That's a reverential friendship. Got you
yeah,
in a
yeah,
good mood.
she's a
Yeah,
reverential friend for sure.
yeah. There you go. That's a reverential friend. I'm
Yeah.
glad you had that moment, and thank you for sharing it with all of us. I love your Facebook.
Yeah,
I love.
it was just you never know what's gonna the things that are gonna get more attention than others. I thought it was just a joke, but people just really like that.
No,
So
people were touched, I think, because of the. It was a real moment. It wasn't acted out or anything. It just
yeah.
happened, and that's what made it so lovely. Thank you,
Mm.
Craig. I think we will move to Rorisang. We're saving you for the end, so we'll move to Marina right now. And I thank you, Marina, for coming through. Craig, you will play the other songs uh, after Marina speaks, and at the end of Rorisang to close off. Is that okay with you?
Sure.
Oh, great. So I just want to give you a quick introduction of Marina. She had a lot on her plate. So this was, although I had invited her, she let me know today that she's going to be on the show, and therefore I have a brief introduction of this very uh, accomplished friend of mine from Houston. She is, her parents immigrated from Trinidad to the US. And well, Marina also was, you were a child, Marina, when
I
you,
was.
You were a child, so you have memories of your former country, Trinidad. And so that was in 1969. And after spending their early years on the East Coast. So were you in New York?
New Jersey.
New Jersey, wow.
Hmm.
Neighbors to.
Yes,
Okay,
to Kirk.
so wow. How long were you in New Jersey?
Ah, till I went into first grade. And I
Oh,
don't know, that was, yeah, a few years, yes. I
so
was young.
you were very young. So from the East Coast, your family moved to Houston, Texas, where you now reside. And I would say the whole family's there. So Marina's an
Yes.
author, she's an ordained prophet, and the founder of Sunrise International Ministries. She's the CEO of Refined Communications LLC, and she has served on several boards and organizations. And this year, she was appointed as a peace ambassador to the United Nations. So, Marina, this is wonderful news, and congratulations on that appointment as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, I couldn't think of a better person to have such an appointment. You love people. You work um, with diverse people, from what I've seen, from different walks of life as well. And I think if
Yes.
anyone understands what it means to be a reverential friend and to have one, I think you're a good example of that. I've watched your life. So let's talk about your recent trip to Kenya and the friends you made there, and just how that has brought you into a place of reverential friendship, and how that, that experience of your life you've shared from the moment you left the airport in Houston. You went to Paris, and from there you connected to Nairobi. And you shared every detail of that trip, from what we saw. So, how was it in terms of making friends and connecting with those friends, and how was that experience in your life? I don't have prepared questions for you, Marina, because
That's, we
yeah,
flow. We
we
flow.
we'll flow with this. We have to flow with this. So, how was that experience for you? And I want to angle it from this perspective. Nelson Mandela celebrated differences and even difficulties with friends. And how has that experience for you entwined with your own life, especially since you came to Africa? As well, you've got so many countries in you. You came from to the US, and then you came to visit us in Africa. You came to Kenya, not to South Africa. You have been, but not on this trip. And you spent, well, quite a bit of time here, and you worked with widows. I was so moved when I saw how you connected with the widows. You provided comfort, you gave blankets, you gave food, you just you were just a complete human being in that moment, and I loved watching every part of it. It would be late at night here, and my husband and I would be in bed, but I'll have my phone looking at you on the other side, because you would post so beautifully. I love that about you. I think it's also your
Thank you.
background, your communications background. You keep us informed, and you do it in like Craig does. He's always sharing, and you did that. I love that. So I was in
Thank
Kenya
you.
with you, even though I was here in South Africa. But I was deeply moved by your love for people. I mean, you just got into it. So would you like to share about that? Because I really don't have prepared questions for you. You can.
No, no, no. We flow. We're like, you're my sister. We just flow. And so I thank you so much for having me, Michelle. We've developed this friendship through social media, and then on to communicating over the phone, and just you've been such a beautiful supporter. And that's what reverential friendship is all about. It's just the inspiration, the love. And so even as I went to Kenya, I went as a part, actually, I have a ministry, Sunrise International Ministries, and I was also meeting up with some other friends who were also visiting I guess I must be going to South Africa soon because I was visiting Kenya. And so I went, we ministered, I gave a little of my testimony while I was there in Kenya. When I was there, and ministered to the leaders there, because a lot of times leaders can often feel alone, and especially when you're doing the work of the Lord. And so ministered to a lot of the leaders who were there the first day, and then the second day to the people from the village. We're about an hour and a half away from Nairobi, so we're really in the village. And I gave my testimony, which I shared, and there were many women in there, and they were really surprised about my testimony. And they were like, oh, that there are women who go through things like we've gone through. And they was very relatable, but also not just dwelling on the past, but also giving them hope in the midst of that. And also we ministered one-on-one to every single person who was there. We ministered, we prophesied, we laid hands. We fed food. There was hot food that my ministry provided, Sunrise International Ministries, through the donations of those who supported us. And also there was also food. We also gave out rice. That was at the first conference with Bishop Daniel at Sarobi, and it was such a blessing to get to know him and his wife. And we developed a real sweet friendship out of that. One of my former virtual assistants met me in Kenya because she's from Kenya. And so it was a time of even being a distance and working together. I got to meet my virtual assistant that I've had years ago. We actually got to meet and even solidify our friendship and our sisterhood even there. I think one of the things for me is that when I actually get to know somebody, they actually become family. So we go beyond just friendship. And one of the things that the Bible talks about is that there are often friends that stick closer to you than any brother. And so, there are times that you can find that you can have a sister or a brother in the Lord, or somebody that who will be there for you. And I have a beautiful family, but I'm blessed with wonderful friends and coworkers who are like friends. And I also think about how God, that we're a friend of God and that he loves us so much. And so I'm really, when I was in Kenya, also ministering to the women, it's not just one-sided. Friendship is not a one-sided thing. So when I went, I'm sharing, but they're also sharing with us. When we went to meet with the widows, they greeted us and we greeted them, and we greeted each other's in songs, and had a fabulous time of ministering to each other. And we gave gifts and gave some songs. And I know that was one of the things, is that they blessed us. I mean, it was just so beautiful to be with them. The smiles, the widows, regardless of the fact that what they're going through, they're still pushing through. Even though they don't have a husband, they still push through. And also, one of the things I was very inspired with this group is that they're also working on economic development. They've come together as widows together to build a community, to make some change. And so that is a beautiful thing.
Thank you, Marina. That was lovely. Thank you for sharing that. That came straight from your heart. And I think you totally encapsulated the whole idea of what reverential friendship means. Thank you for that. And
yes, Matt, I say this is that as a peace ambassador, when I went to the United Nations, who was in the lobby but Nelson Mandela? There's a beautiful statue of him at the United Nations, and I was trying to put it on earlier, but his head was getting cut off. But so if you go to the United Nations, who greets you but our wonderful person that we are recognizing today in Nelson Mandela. And I tell you, I've had the privilege of working with elected officials from South Africa during my time when I worked for the city of Houston. Such beautiful people. And I can't wait to come and visit someday soon and to even strengthen that fellowship. Rosaringa, I look forward to meeting you. I hope I pronounced your name, and Michelle and
Rorisang. It's like
Rory-san.
Yeah, Rorisang. Yeah, there you go.
Can't wait
Yes.
for you to come through. Please do. We can't wait to welcome you. Please.
Thank you. So that's what friendship is about. Also, Michelle, that you are connecting new friends. See, just right by having us on your show. So thank you so much. Thank you for giving me the time to speak. And nice to see you again, Mr. Greenberg. Always enjoy your music.
Yeah, I think you must arrange to bring him to Houston. We've been
That would be
talking.
lovely.
Yeah, I think we've been talking about that for a long time. It would be lovely if Texas experienced Craig's music because I think it will really take off in Texas. And well, who knows? So I really think we are ready for some music. Craig, what do you think? Do you have any song for us right now? Marina, thank you. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Very encouraging as well.
Yeah. Okay. So this
Hey,
is
Craig.
this is a new song. That's not on the record. I don't know if I played it on here before, but and it's called All the Same. What if I'm brave? What if I'm bold? What if my story don't get sold? What if I fail? What if I fear? What if the dark clouds reappear? I'll face it down. I'll stake the ground. I'll find the road again and walk back into town. And if the dream don't ever make it to the light, and it's all the same, then it's all the same. Once I had faith, once I had hope, once I had 1,000 ways I cope, keeping me strong, keeping me tight, keeping my head up through the fight. Never a break, never a loss, never a bridge that I couldn't cross. Living it bright, living it proud, living the truth from inside out. Then the light went cold. Everything got old. I felt the poison come and eat away my soul. And in my carelessness I cast the dream aside. I take all the blame. I take all the blame. I feel my sadness like a fountain. And it flows on, and it flows on. But I know the only ways around it to lead me on, to lead me on.
Greg. You've played it for us before.
I think I did, yeah.
Yes, I recognize the tune. And now we shall move on to Rorisang, the lady who's just come back from the World Cup. So, Rorisang, I've seen his nails again.
Yes, 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 yes,
There we
yes.
go. There we go. So,
Yes.
you were at a World Cup match in Mexico, cheering as a South African abroad. What
Yeah.
surprised you most about how strangers behaved once they were all rooting for the same team?
I would say I wasn't actually surprised. It was actually incredibly affirming
Mhm.
of how community comes together, how much love, how much friendliness, how much camaraderie and friendship just kind of happens as you cheering on a team and in line to go to the bathroom, or it just that didn't surprise me. It was wonderfully affirming. It felt like home. It felt like there's so much going on in the world that is kind of dividing us, and that just felt like like warmth. And that was really thrilling. I mean, there are people there that I like shared such warm, cheerful embraces with that I'll probably never see again. But like my nervous system, they'll be there. And that was actually really amazing. And I mean, something like the World Cup, it really does, like, it's such a global event. So it brings people together from all over the world. But it didn't surprise me. I just think it was nourishing, it was affirming. As a South African being in Mexico, I think there's a wonderful sisterhood and brotherhood with Mexicans and South Africans also, for many different complex reasons. So it was just warmth. It was wonderful. I always say it's nice to travel to a country when the country's in a good mood,
Yes.
and Mexico was in a really good mood. So that was really great.
So,
Yeah.
did you notice the usual barriers, language, culture, background? Well, it obviously fell away in that stadium. So, what replaced them?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there is a language barrier, but it's not a barrier. It's just about how do we communicate, how do we meet each other. Because I didn't find that there was a rejection of you don't know my language, so we can't speak. I think when you travel, I think it's important to go to a place and do the best that you can to immerse yourself in the culture with the people and in the language. Don't go then try to immerse yourself. Try to kind of ingest in what you find there. And so there were obviously moments where Espanol, no, Inglés, no, and you kind of, but you figure it out with each other, because you actually just connect with each other. That's what happens, right? So there wasn't, some of the stuff is we would go to restaurants and I would have no idea what I've just ordered. Let me just eat it and let's see what happens, and I'd speak to the waiter or the waitress, and they'd recommend something. I'd be like, I don't know what's happening. Let's just go and let's just explore. And that's just like the adventure of meeting people. And but there was, as I said, it was just I wouldn't say barriers in that way. We just have to get to know each other, and the only way we get to know each other more is to visit each other's countries and just know each other and be patient. I think they were patient with us because, sometimes we really didn't know where we were going or how to get there, and people were just kind. People were just kind, and that was and friendly, and it was wonderful to experience that, I must say. Yeah.
So, what does that tell us about human nature, Rory? Are we
Hmm.
naturally tribal or naturally connective when we're given a shared cause?
I think we're naturally connected when we're given a shared cause. I've always believed that. Um, I do believe believe in the wonderful complexity of who we are from different parts of the world, our kind of our racial makeups and dynamics and our cultures. I think it's important to celebrate, not to dilute any of our differences and experiences. I think that's very important, right? Because that actually makes up the colorfulness of who we are. Um, But I believe at the core, all of us do have a shared humanity, which hopefully is coming together, is love, is joy, is peace, is safety, is community, is friendship, whatever that looks like for different people. For some people, community is an expansiveness of procreation. For some people, it's friends. For some people, it's a relationship with your spirit and your God. It depends what it is. For many people, it's animals, it's plants, but I think ultimately there is always that desire for us to come together. And that just, that just showed, it illuminated it. Once again, because I'm in Johannesburg, and to get to Mexico City is very far. It's a very long commute. It's very far. Oh my gosh. And it's so funny, we leave on Saturday night and you travel for 30 hours and you get there and it's like Sunday afternoon. You're like, how does this make sense? But you get there and you get a beautiful hola, ¿cómo estás? It's a hello and a smile from a stranger. That was beautiful. That's why I love to travel. You know me, Michelle. I love to travel as much as I can for those particular moments of reminding us of our humanity.
Beautiful.
It's really, really good. Yeah.
I love that you've experienced that. You felt every moment of it. And so, on a personal note, what does true friendship look like to you on and off the screen?
It's interesting that this comes up, because I was actually having a conversation with some of my friends the other day, and one of my friends, she was talking about how there's friendship, there's being a good friend as opposed to being an active friend, and it's not bad or good, but there's good friendship, those friends who you never see or you don't see for a long time or speak to them for a long time, and you come together and it's like nothing ever changed, and it's like we saw each other yesterday, and you have that connectivity, right? But then you have those friends who are active friends, those friends who do check up on you, those friends who do get back to you, who do say, sorry, I missed your call, who do say, okay, I'm coming to see you this time, or how was your holiday, or I travel safe. So for me, when it comes to friendship, I realize as I'm getting older, it's that active friendship space that I found is so important. Because I think it's so easy to get caught up in our worlds, in our technology, in how we feel about what's going on in the world. It can be very anxiety inducing. And so to have people who reciprocate when you check up on them and they check up on you, I think that's important. I think so when you were talking about Michelle, about Utata Nelson Mandela, talking about like those kinds of friendship that challenge you, that force you to show up, and not even force you, but it inspire you to show up in a way, and I think for me that's the difference. That's the space that I think I'm moving into beautifully with my friends. That thing of like, hey man, let's just check up on each other. Let's see how we're really doing. Let's check in. Let's send love. Let's ask how you feel about this and that, as opposed to we'll see each other when we see each other and it's all good. Because we can't just let the world revolve with all of us not doing that. We have to be active. We have to take a stand, even if in our communities with each other, And so for me, that's the friendship space that I'm in, and I'm very grateful that I have a lot of people around me I don't have to force that kind of narrative. It's happening naturally. But I literally said to my friends the other day, I said, thank you for being my active friends. Thank you for being people who are in my space in that way. And I think that's really important. Like the activity of friendship, I think is really important.
Oh, I love that. The activity of friendship. That's beautiful. And so did you know him, like personally?
Did I?
Did you know Tata Mandela personally?
Not personally, no, I didn't know him personally. I was very privileged and lucky to meet Umama Winnie Mandela. And that was, that blew my mind. I just literally saw her one day walking in. It was just like seeing a god. in real life, and I was so scared and I was so nervous. I was much younger, but I just walked up to her and she had bodyguards, and I walked up to her and I was like, "Hi, hello, Mama, how are you, Dumelang?" And I thought she would, her bodyguards would come, create a cement wall, and she'd say no, but she actually just looked at me and she's like, "Hello, my child, how are you?" I
Wow.
was like, "Oh my gosh." And yeah, that was one of the best moments of my life. Yeah, I feel very grateful that I had that moment, I must say.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Rory. And
Thank you.
yeah, thank you for everything. And thank you for being my friend and checking up on me too.
Oh, thank you for being my friend. You're so wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks to
You too.
Ipulang. Thanks to Ipulang.
Yes,
Ipulang
I'll
is
send that.
Rorisang's sister, and I met her the first time in Houston. How about that? I
Yes,
met South Africa in Houston. Yeah. So
yeah.
it's a long story actually, but I'm so and it's through Ipulang that we became friends.
Yes, true,
Yeah.
true.
And Craig, how did Craig become my friend? We were looking for a musician to perform on our very first People of Purpose talk show.
Wow.
And that was during the pandemic.
I think
So
I think the friend that connected us I saw last night actually.
that's
Oh,
Susanna.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah,
yeah,
Susanna
she came out.
Coleman.
I played this gig last night downtown, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's
She's
funny.
a lovely person. She used to show my work, my art in New York. And that's how I reached out to her. And she asked a couple of people, and some said yes, and some didn't respond. But Craig was the only one who was like, I'll do it. And it was because when you're dealing with people across the pond, you just don't immediately click. And I put the call out there, and we got people coming in. And Craig was not like, I'll do it. And I was very impressed that you carried through right till the day you showed up. That was like the best thing. And look how far we've all come. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah,
That's
it
wonderful.
is.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
thank you, Michelle, for bringing us together. Thank you.
you're welcome. I think this is what it's all about, right? And I really do believe that this is a beautiful way to celebrate the life and times of Nelson Mandela, because
Yes.
he really was a unifier. He was not just in our country. I mean, this was a global thing. And recently, we visited my mom in KwaZulu Natal in Durban, and we drove to the Natal Midlands, where he was captured, where Mandela was captured before he was in prison for 27 years. Because from there it was quite a journey, Rory, and then he ended up in Robben Island, right? And so we
Yes.
went to the capture site. We visited the capture site. My mom is an old time activist, so it was quite an experience taking her
Mm.
there. It was deeply moving for her. My mom is 83 years old. So I've shared I'll send each of you the link of our time with her. You can see mom is pretty old now, and I shouldn't say that. She's pretty mature. My mother's not old, she's mature. She's she just took this in, and they recreated the car that he was captured in as well. And we have this video of her talking to Gavin. It's like, is that the actual car? Is that the one that he was in? And it was just a beautiful experience. And then there's this massive, well, the sculptures there, Rorisang,
Yeah.
massive
Yes.
sculpture. It's an experience I would recommend, that experience to both Craig and to Marina. If you should ever visit South Africa, you want to visit the capture site. And I will share
Yeah.
my video of my time with mom. Gavin and I did that experience with mom. And I also, there's a long walk. I think they intended to do the long walk of freedom. That was the whole thing. You know how art works. So when you walk, you immediately don't see it. All you see are metal bars.
Mm.
But as you walk, his face shows up. It's the most
Mm.
fascinating
Mm.
experience.
Mm.
And
Mm.
I've tried to capture it on video. I think I did my best, but you have to experience it yourself and to be on the actual site where he was captured. And yet, he forgave everyone. He forgave everyone. And he asked us all to do the same. He wanted us to have forgiving, kind, amiable hearts. it's sometimes difficult to have that as a human being, but that was
Yeah.
his purpose. That was his purpose. He was indeed
Yeah.
a unifier. We've had ups and downs in this country. We're still having ups and downs, but I hope our
Mm.
people in this part of our journey
Mm.
as a transitioned country, I hope all of us, every single one of us, never forget why this happened.
Yeah.
And may we never forget who we are. May we all continue. It's a difficult journey for us all to be friends because there was so much of separation in our country. We had to
Yeah.
learn about each other. We were practically living in our own countries within the country, each community. And then bringing us all together in such a short space of time, 32 years is not enough. It was something I would say it could have been a sociological disaster, and maybe it is, and we're still working through a lot of it. But you know what? We can do this through music, through performing art, Marina, through spirituality as well, and visual art. We can do this. Bless you, Rory.
Thank you.
So I think it would be lovely if Craig played something for us now, and we can close there.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you again for having me. We'll end on a more uplifting note, uplifting song. This is also on the new record, and this is a song about keeping the faith. So it's called If You Stop Believing. Shed light when you're not sure where to go. Shed light when there's darkness in the road. Walk up to the mountain if there's answers that you seek. Wade into the waters to wash your spirit clean. Find another reason to keep faith within your heart. 'Cause if you stop believing, then the whole thing comes apart. Sing out when the world has got you down. Sing out when there's no peace to be found. Find the inspiration in all of nature's wild. Filter aggravations and steal away your smile. Cherish every moment with the ones you call your friends. 'Cause if you lose connection, then the story comes to an Many miles we've come and many more to run. We go in circles and we get lost again. It's not the things we have, it's the ones we love that let us know it's worth it. When we're falling down. Now pain
Love that song. Beautiful, Craig.
Yeah, that's going to be the next single, by the way. That's going to be coming out.
Oh, are you've released quite a few this year.
Yeah, I've been waterfalling them,
Yeah,
as
it's
they
been
say.
a very busy year this year for you.
Yeah.
So, my friends, it's been wonderful having all of you.
Thank you so much. I have served my 67 minutes on the People of Purpose talk show.
I have served my 67 minutes on the People of Purpose talk show.
I've served my 67 minutes on the People of Purpose talk show.
Thank you, friends, so much. And I've served my 67 minutes with my friends from 2 continents and from within my country on the People of Purpose talk show. Thank you and God bless.